Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 10 out of Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on a Florida mother that was shot at her son's funeral. Her son being one of two teens killed by Brevard County sheriffs. November 13th, 2020, Brevard County sheriffs have been on the lookout for a vehicle that had ran a traffic stop. 18-year-old Sincere Pierce had just left his home, getting into a car with two other friends. Within minutes, police arrived demanding with guns drawn for the three people in the car to get out, as the 18-year-old's mother stood nearby begging the police not to shoot, saying, "My baby is in that car. He just got in that car." The car can be seen on video backing out of the driveway in reverse. An officer to the side aggressing towards the vehicle as the driver attempted to flee before the officer opened fire.
Stop the vehicle!
Central Florida deputies shout commands to a teenage driver last Friday who appears to stop the car. And then this.
Stop the vehicle! Stop! Stop!
The bullets ultimately taking the lives of Angelo A.J. Crooms, 16, and Sincere Pierce, 18.
The driver, now unresponsive, as the vehicle veered off, being stopped by a neighbor's wall. Ben Crump, a Florida attorney and civil rights advocate, posted on Twitter saying, "Video released by Brevard sheriffs clearly show A.J. Crooms and Sincere Pierce were terrified, trying to drive around cops who approached with guns drawn. Out of harm's way, the deputy moved closer to get a better shot, firing with intent to kill, then kept firing as the car passed by." The two teens were transported to the hospital where they both died, as the third man in the vehicle was taken into police custody and interviewed. Limited information was given after the shooting, leaving family in the streets to grieve as a mother just witnessed her son be killed in a vehicle he had no control over. There were two sheriff officers present at the time of the shooting, both placed on administrative leave, but it was only one that actually fired the weapon. Brevard County Sheriff stated the officer was in harm's way and was forced to fire his service weapon in an attempt to stop the deadly threat of the car from crashing into him. Peaceful protests from family and members of the community followed, with people of all races showing love and support for the teens who lost their lives, accusing the Brevard County Sheriff's Office of murder. GoFundMes were created for both victims, which I'll have pinned in the comments section of this video. Sincere's page reaching over $56,000 in donations. Saturday, November 28th, funeral services were being held for Sincere when a gunshot rang off, causing family and friends to run, panicking. Sincere's mother, Quashida Pierce, and a 16-year-old boy had been shot in the leg during the service. Many began to speculate as to what happened. Were they targeted? But an investigation determined a single shot fired from a 16-year-old carrying a concealed firearm accidentally discharged the weapon, the bullet piercing and exiting his leg before striking the mother as flowers were being placed on the Sincere's casket. Quashida was heard yelling as people began running, some staying to attend to her. Neither wound is considered life-threatening, and the 16-year-old is refusing to cooperate with authorities. Now, this is a tragic case because it still hasn't been confirmed whether the vehicle they were in was the vehicle the police were even after. It supposedly matched the description given. The police did a good job of not releasing a lot of information in this case, and if that is true, they literally got the wrong vehicle. I don't see how you can't blame the sheriff office for their death. Even if it isn't a murder charge, it's still a wrongful death. And if any other citizen went and shot somebody over something that turned out not to be true, they would be punished. And it deserves to happen to the sheriffs. They shouldn't be exempt from the law that they swore to uphold. And as far as the shooting taking place at the funeral, I'm not sure why the 16-year-old boy felt that he needed to be armed during the funeral, because it's not like the shooting was gang related or that they were going to be targeted by gang members. That's the only time I would, understand people bringing guns to a funeral, is to be armed and prepared in case anybody targets the service. But he brought a gun which was obviously loaded. In some way or another, he either moved the wrong way, causing the gun to go off, shooting himself. And that's the thing about carrying a weapon, loaded, one in the chamber, without a holster, is you don't have anything blocking the trigger guard. If anything gets in there, clothing, whatever, that gun is gonna go off, and that's exactly what happened. He's refusing to cooperate with the police. I don't necessarily blame him. I don't want people to say, oh, he sounds like a thug, this and that. He's at a funeral for a friend or family member that was just killed by the sheriffs. Do you expect that he would cooperate with the same sheriff's department? Because I don't. I would understand people in the community having a distrust for the sheriff's department after the shooting. And that is why I love seeing the pictures of the protests. And I love seeing that there was multiple races within that group standing together. People were holding Black Lives Matter signs. People like to talk about Black Lives Matter, saying that the organization is this, it's that, it's funded by this guy. And I think that there's a huge misconception between the people that hold the signs and between the people that talk down on the ones that do hold the signs. When people say Black Lives Matter, I don't feel that they're always representing the actual organization that is funded by whoever. But I believe they're representing those that are being killed unjustly by the police departments across the country. When they say Black Lives Matter in this case, I believe it is directly having to do with the fact that 2 young men were killed at the hands of the sheriffs, and whether the other kid was the one that was driving. Sincere was a passenger. He had no control over the vehicle. He died because of what played out. And I believe what they're saying is their lives mattered. But I feel it's disrespectful to people to talk down on Black Lives Matter when not everybody is a part of this organization that supposedly has a false representation and is being funded by some white guy. I believe there are people that are sincerely saying we are tired of seeing our black youth be shot the fuck down, regardless of which race they are. And that is why they're holding these signs representing and peacefully protesting for these people. But like I said in the video, I'm gonna have both of their GoFundMes in the comment section pinned. It's a tragic loss. It's even more tragic that something like that happened at the funeral. But luckily they're gonna survive, and hopefully they can press forward. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. Till next time.